we're playing Party Royale, and we're watching at the big screen. Watching them play Fortnite. Yep. It's kind of like the World. I think it's like the World Cup. When you get $3,000 or something, I don't know.
That fight right away, because even picking that up with the additional match drop now only has 52 materials.
I don't know what it is, guys, but I know it's like the World Cup.
He's going to need to find it, and with so many other players around this area, it's going to be really hard to max out quickly. But now let's hop on board with our match #1 winner. As you can see, the format in the right-hand side, each elimination being worth a point. You can see once you get into that top 10, you'll have 8 placement points going through, all the way up to 14 for first. Then you can see 11 through 15.
Yeah, my friend is climbing up to 10, guys.
It's the intervals of 5, then the intervals of 10, and of course, you get that first placement point after the first 25 players have gone down. So still, plenty of players who need to drop here, which generally is a little slower from you. You'll typically see a little more aggression going on. However, as you get further and further on into tournaments, the stakes and the players become that much more difficult to fight against, and it's really hard to confidently take an early fight, as we have Rax and the Costa Rican Sebi in a battle over here.
Ooh, and Rax on the back foot already. Now, this is that weather station just above Caddy. A Sebi going in. The shots are going to go through. He's going to get the initial damage, and he's going to follow up with the AR. The crouch spam, and it's going to pay off for him. The elimination comes through, but now the question posed for Sebi is, can he go get his loot? Can he go get the shockwave launcher and that charged shotgun, or will he settle for some of the vault loot?
And generally, that's the goal. It's to go through, get whatever you can from the weather station, resolve a fight there, and then head down and hopefully pick up the remnants of whatever happened at Caddy Corner. But now we're going to swing on over to Authority.
Sorry for being quiet, guys.
Was able to steal away.
Yeah, I'm just watching.
Just kind of rotate out. But now, match #2, you can see Hardfind over on the side, and Hardfind looking to set up a trap and a bait. Before a number of times, particularly around that vault area, where there are some areas you can't build, players look to have just immediate Letwick is set up really well in terms of his close quarters combat. Just having that epic,
if y'all have a problem with me being quiet,
tactical shotgun and a
you can turn my video off if you want.
Really high,
because I'm going to just be quiet so y'all can hear, you know.
To just spam and pressure Hardfind. He's going to be looking for an ambush here in a second, but right now, both players just farming up.
And it seems like they're respecting each other's areas of this Authority. They kind of know, hey, he's going to be over here. I can tell by how he's looted. I know Letwick's going to be on this side because.
Oh, sorry, chat. My bad. My bad.
But what's concerning about this is the players that are around. Carrot is there as well. You got 2 other players on the side. But Letwick is playing this very well. He's hitting some things, and then he's standing still. Because that's how the henchmen act. They walk around. Sometimes they'll hit stuff that's in their way, and then they'll stand still as you see one moving there. On the other side, we've got Wolfies, who's in a fight against some Marauders. Hopefully he's able to get out of those. The Marauders are very, very potent. They shoot you, they throw things at you, and they just will try to eliminate you at all costs. And they've got very, very good aim, especially with that hunting rifle there in the inventory of the Deadeye Marauder. Wolfies is pretty low, but he's got Ardent pretty low as well, 150 HP. Now the Marauders are coming in here. The third party this fight. Sometimes the third party does not always have to be an actual player. It can be the AI. And this is really good for Wolfies. He's allowing the Marauders to go after this player and go after him for him and get the initial damage. But if he goes in, he's got to be careful. He can't look to go in right away with all these Marauders around. If he doesn't do any damage to him, they're going to be very, very, very hard to build through and walk through. As you see, the builds are going to get broken. This is bad for Wolfies. He needs to get rid of the Marauders. The shots are coming in, down to 11 HP. He's only got 2 builds remaining. Launchpad placed. He can't build anymore. Got a player right there in front of him. Sniper shot going to come out, and it does. But he goes down to a Marauder.
Vato getting picked off there, but the Marauders catching Wolfies out. No builds, no natural cover nearby. Ardent soaking most of the aggression. Him opting to go down. Ardent will clean up all of that. So good heads-up plays by Wolfies to pick up the snipe, but the Marauders ultimately enacting their revenge there. And it can be so difficult when you get caught out by them, particularly in the open. The builds will target those and will try and cover on the map, those houses, the bridges, and the stuff that are nearby. But Vato not going to be happy about that. Was trying to get a little bit of a third-party tag there, and Wolfie's punishing him right before he goes down. He says, hey, if I'm going down, you're coming down with me, and will also deny a key elimination point that could have gone over to Ardit. So ultimately, he's going to be upset his game is over, but at least he was able to pick up a little bit.
Make sure you get this too.
And as we can see, he's used to fast starts, placing first with 5 elans.
Let me think, guys.
As well, so
give this to 5K likes
over on the northeast side of the zone with plenty of players
5K views, and please give me the 5K subscribers.
Really do it. You don't want to be
and
to burn those
I'll do a massive
hard materials because once they
gift
get built
thing.
Up, they provide that much
I'll
more
gift everybody on
However,
Fortnite
so much harder to get,
who subscribe. I'll give all y'all.
Flo is finding Cammy
Y'all give me all the content.
He's gonna head over there.
Not saying that don't watch anybody else YouTube. I'm just saying if y'all give me some content,
this is it,
I'll start gifting y'all. Yeah. And TNT, dude. Sorry I haven't gifted your brother yet. I mean your cousin. But I'm gonna gift them one day. Okay? We only got 3 months until Fortnite ends. So, yeah. I'll gift them before the end. Okay? Alright, I'm gonna be quiet now.
Now Noah has to be careful. He wants to go aggressive. His instinct is to push in with that crash pad and get the aggressive play, but that player back up to full HP. He's got to be careful. Shots go through the edit. Not going to connect on the shots there. Noah over the top. Shots come through a 71 tag there for Noah. And now he's going in.
Sorry, chat. They're in the way.
The crash pad is actually going to send him away. He's got to keep the pressure up to keep this player from popping any shields. And he's got the player back and forth, up and down, up and down. He's got the crash pad. He's going in. Shots are going to come through. The player puts the stare with the top of his head. And another good tag there. Noah's not able to find him. Noah's not able to finish him off. This player continuously layer changing, going up and down in between the builds, and Hydro is just trying to run for their life.
Jeez.
Hydro trying to put as much distance as possible, and unfortunately going to go down there. Good job for Noah Riley on the chase.
My controller is broken.
Resolve fights, particularly because you don't want that opponent burning those resources, because when you do take them down, they'll drop them there, and you want to get as much as possible. You can see Noah picking up all of the minis there. He's back up to 6. Good job. Still has 4 crash pads. And one thing you'll note in particular when you're looking at these mid-game fights and what you should be keeping an eye on. Anytime a player has crash pads, that will enable them to push into boxes. You've seen it in different ways, both from the top down, where they throw it against one of those cones because it lets them fall in. And then a perfect example, thank you, Ross Orange, for showing it right there, winning the fight against Hardfind.
Jeez.
You throw it against that corner and it'll end up landing right behind you, and it pushes you forward into the box, but it won't affect the other player. So it allows you to line up your shot ahead of time, and most times it'll also put...
So hold on, chat. Sorry. I'm gonna make another video or live stream on a game
that's the dangers of taking a mid-game fight.
That y'all may be like or not.
Damage, you're going to get third-party. Players are going to recognize that shield crack sound, and they're going to move in. But on the other hand, look at Lewick. He took that fight, got out, and now is on the move. But Carrot is setting up an ambush for the shots coming through. Lewick has been cracking. Look at the box separation that he just did there from Carrot. Gonna time him trying to pass him, and he's the stare with the top is not his. He does get a nice layer change coming out and above, but he doesn't have enough time to pop the big shield. He's just looking to try to pop another mini, and he does get it off. And now he's looking for a shot. He needs to put the pressure back on to Carrot. Because if not, then he's just going to keep running around, and Carrot's finally going to be able to get a shot on him. And Carrot decides, you know what? Not worth my time, not worth my materials, not worth my HP. I'm going to disengage.
I'm 50-50 on that. It felt like if Carrot had kind of kept pressing, he might have been able to pick up Letwick, particularly because, look at Letwick, there are only 20 total builds coming out, but that also means if you are able to take him down, you're not going to necessarily get that much back.
All the way up the hill. He's going up the hill.
It's really not going to be that beneficial.
Misty Meadows.
Able to rotate cleanly off of it. Both have the crash pads, but now you can see fight going on here between Diablo and NXS Z Andy. Zandy on the back foot here, and Diablo trying to push forward. Somebody we've seen had the capability.
Are they playing regular solos?
Above that Storm Surge threshold, so just trying to hunt this player and doing a good job keeping Zandy on the back foot. Does get the cone replaced, owns both, edits back under. Zandy able to replace that stay there, so Diablo just going to reset for a second, make sure he's still back up at near that 100-100 threshold, and then Zandy going to go down. So good job making sure you pick that one up. Zandy.
Wait, is there a trap?
Diablo,
don't tell me that was a trap.
Storm Surge will take that over. So that's what we talk about right now. You can see on the right-hand side, Diablo is currently 130 damage above. Zandy was below, which means he takes that 25
How else did he die, chat?
And it also signals to Diablo,
I know that was a
hey,
trap,
I can just
chat.
tag this guy up and then wait, because any damage he does for to that player, as long as they go down within a minute, he will still get credit for that elimination. He will still get the point, then he can go over and safely pick up that loot.
That is another aspect of competitive Fortnite that everyone has to think about. At Storm Surge, it plays a factor into so many of these players' games. Sometimes they forget about it because they're pumping, they're rolling, they got their match, they got their ammo, they got their builds, they're in zone.
Let's see if somebody wins, chat.
I gotta look for a tag. Frenzy Fishy on the other side above.
Chat, we're gonna be here for 1 hour. I might end it after, but if y'all already, you know, watching it in Party Royale,
just find any
yourself,
that you can, far away or up close. Don't even have to
if y'all just watching Party Royale,
yeah, but you notice
Fortnite on your game,
cone and editing a single wall
instead of watching it on your phone.
Hunting rifle headshots that we've seen come out time and time again. You don't want to get a game ender looking.
Sorry guys, I could try to go in there. I'm about to plug it up.
Talk about tags and going long range shots, not with the
I plugged it up, chat.
To eliminate the opponent.
It's charging, guys.
As Flois ends Froggy.
Here, chat, I'm gonna make it easier for y'all.
A cone in a window and to limit the number of angles you have, because so many of these top level players will be carrying those weapons, particularly.
Is that better, chat?
Known for their snipes and hitting their shots. Well done from the game #1 winner, who's continuing to roll with the momentum here. Boxed up next to Arctic. Passive over the side as we're transitioning now into that mid-game kind of territory as players are starting to get closer and looking for priority in terms of zone number.
Chat, this is
what an elimination. He needed it too. He only had 2 hunting rifle shots. That first shot needed to hit. He didn't really have a chance to follow up if it
Sorry, chat.
Harry heads up play by Flois. First place, taking down second place. That is, hey, that's pretty good for your mentality. Even if he goes down here and be like, hey, I took out my competition, so I know I'm pretty secure there. But we're still pretty early on into the game, so we can't really do much with it.
And it's important to note when they stress during the top of show how every single interaction matters.
You know how
right
everybody be saying, boo.
His direct competition right now, the player who is closest to him, who's able to pressure up. That means if he's able to build up a lead now, it's going to be that much more substantial, because effectively he's eliminated one of the players who can threaten him the most. As now we're on board here with ADN. We saw him have an amazing run yesterday, pushing in. Right there, you can see the Dorito edit being taken down.
Dorito edit.
Strokey was looking to set up a crash pad there with that edited cone in his box, but ADN dropped in and then occupied the space, stuck to the AR, and then just used the weapon to close it out. Well done, getting a key pick there in a mid-circle.
And he desperately needed his match. Were not looking good. Still are not looking good as well. So he's going to have to find another impact elimination along the way. As we're on board here with Ardent, again, stats are not looking good. Now, there is a player's loot there in front of him that he more likely got the Elim from. He's not actually prioritizing picking it up right now. It seems like he's just looking to build and then go for the loot. Mr. X
there you go, chat.
Benji's nearby as well. Artist in an awkward spot. We've got Scram in this game here as well. Handy, passive, slick. A lot of players still alive.
I think that's a better view than on the zip line, because you gotta move around.
Makes a heads up play to
you
get
know,
a box. The crash pad's gonna come through, but that's bad for
guys.
The shots come through, and he does.
You slipped it on my channel.
Aggressive play not gonna be rewarded.
Like, what's happening?
Be rewarded for his passive.
10 subscribers.
Yeah, and you can see the
like,
reason why so many players are fighting right now. Both that Storm
I
Surge
appreciate
and
if you give me some subs.
Zone. Look in the bottom right hand corner.
If y'all want some gifts for 3 months, work it up.
for when that happens.
I need to get over 1,000 subscribers, guys.
Next to somebody
Please do it for me.
They're looking to clear out the players nearby as Ardent picks up Flois there. So 1 and 2 are down. That's going to open up the leaderboard. Tons of players will have an opportunity to charge up. Eyes are now on Hen and whether or not he can kind of extend his lead out there as Ardent also picks up Lechi. Mongrel getting scout there in a brilliant job because he's now cleared out all the players on this tarp. In that next, the half in, half out, the one before moving is pulling directly over to this cluster of players. So Tayson, Benji, Helix, Wyzip, Mr. X will all be over there, sharing the half in, half out with Ardent. They all have priority on everyone else who's rotating into the zone. So they're going to be fighting among themselves to make sure they're safe and not going to get ambushed, and then swap over to what Tayson's doing now and looking to catch the players, burning their rotation, burning launch pads and crash pads, trying to get into this zone.
And this is very lucky for Tayson because, again, express the amount of builds in the inventory, he only has 54. That is not where you want to be for this in-game. So he has to find an elimination.
Oh, hell no.
Moving zones effectively. He does have the 6 crash pad, but when you start to use those crash pads, you start wasting those builds that you box up, and he needs to find somebody. As shots come through, he's not going to be able to beat people out of the air just yet. But we do see
give y'all a better view there.
But he did get that top 15 placement threshold, which is what a lot of people
are
playing that consistency. Hey, at least I went down.
Now we can see the big screen.
However, is looking to get aggressive, and I believe that's on. I think this is Benji.
It's like 100 people right there.
Benji makes the wrong edit. He goes into a box that's not his. Tayson is going to go aggressive. So make sure there's going to be pop. Edit's going to come through. No crash pad in. Shots coming through. And Benji's going to go down. Tayson going to take him down.
Hold on, chat.
I know he was looking for it, waiting for Benji. He heard him trying to set up and get some space. Knew he was pressured around the side. The horizontal crash pad entrance puts him behind Benji, cleans it up with the tactical shotgun, and well done. And Hen, the third place player on the leaderboard before the last game, going on the high ground right now, has priority position with Enos and Mongrel just below him. Also Smokey on the same ground, but we're going to hop on over to the Become Legends player.
You muted me?
So well recently, cleaning up the cash cup on his birthday. Had a phenomenal performance yesterday to also guarantee him spot here.
Sorry about the emote noise in the lobby.
What that means is he's the closest to where the safe zone has to go past.
I'm just playing.
As it funnels and everyone else rotates,
hey, I got a question.
Go past Hen. You do not get to pass him, and you notice he's built so much space around him. So
can I make you float?
In return, all of these shots are completely
maybe
anything he's able to convert on.
If I make you float,
as another placement point does take
float,
over now, he's not shooting through that wall. That is
I don't know how many times
with the replay. He's picking up
I could probably get you.
Setting up a crash pad,
but I'm gonna save my V-Bucks for my subscribers though. But I can give you some.
There as we
get
have
it.
Our top 35.
Yeah, if you can float, if I can float.
Yeah, if you can make me float. I don't know. Yeah. But if I make you float, yeah, I can get you.
He did get tagged up, but he's still good. Rotation coming in. We do see Sapphic going down. And rotation and keys went down as well.
Hey, I'm not to lead a match, chat. I'm not finna be here all day. Y'all gotta follow me in there, bro. Go and party y'all and watch yourself. But if your mama say you can't play the game, well, my bad.
He needs to find the outside.
Peace out, chat. Peace. Make sure you